reveal the gateway to the Lost Dimension. Lost World, come to me. Bio Midwest Chief here, bringing you my post-glory Valiant Dimension Dragon deck profile. I do want to let a disclaimer know, my post-glory Valiant cards are proxies, but I still want to get the deck list out to y'all, so I can show y'all what I've been testing with for the past since the cards got revealed, and what I've been playing online, and really excited to show y'all the deck profile. Spoiler alert, there is no Disturb Hands in my deck. I'm looking at you, Kirshif. Alright, it's a Dragon World deck, and my buddy is Dimension Dragon, Churamata. I'm gonna try my best to use phonics to pronounce these names. So now I play 4 Churamata. He is just a draw card, consistency purposes. Not a once per turn draw, so I can just keep calling him, keep drawing him. Next, 4 Onkos. This is what I would all wish it can be. So it's going to be charge and draw, then Lost World charge draw 2. This is the super strong play when you use Dimension Draw. I'll explain that later. All right. Next, 4 oh god, how you say your name? Yen. My redirector. He redirects, he draws me a card. He's a shield, he's a draw, he's nice. The new card I play. At first I didn't want to play him. I ain't really want to flex. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. But he is a recursion. He lets me hold on. I thought I had to sneeze. Never mind. Okay. You can leave that. I thought I was smelling bullcrap coming up, but because I'm allergic to it. But anyway, so he's a recursion. I can pick up 2 different Dimension Dragon monsters. Is it monsters? Better be monsters. Yeah, or Lost Vader ones to add them back to my hand. So help me recur my Onkoses for next turn. Let me recur a lot of things, and just a really nice guy. Solid person. Next up, I play the Cade, or I call him the Hippie Dimension Dragon because his named ability is more love. He is basically my buddy, but he is a hard once per turn. But you also gain a life when you do it. I love having him on board and buddy calling because 2 life draw 2. I mean that doesn't matter, but he comes in handy. Also he comes in handy for when I will do a redirector on my opponent's turn. When I play him, he will proc on both turns. So the fact I can proc him on both turns, and there's another way I can proc him on my opponent's turn, which I'll explain to when I get to my spells. But he's a hard once per turn, so I play him at 3. I can always recur him with the monster and the new spell I want to play. Next, I play 3 Epis. Epis is a hard once per turn. He lets me check for Dimension Dragon monsters at the cost of discarding a card from my hand. So he's a Onkos target. I don't want to play him at 4 because I can only call him once per turn. His effect's not once per turn. I can only call this boy once per turn. At least back in the day with like Daryl Burke and Osiris from Chaos, you're able to call them. So like, let's say if I somehow have no monster on board and I recall the Epis, I can't recall a second Epis, and it sucks. But he got a pretty good effect, so I understand. Last monster I play is 3 Agonia. When he gets put into the drop zone, discard a card from my hand. So another Onkos target. Check top 4, add 2 to hand, add 2 to gauge. Consistency purposes. As you know, this is not a Dimension Dragon deck. It's just a Turbo Lost World deck. Of course, that's what it is. That was a bad joke. On to my impacts. Play 2 Z-Zenos. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people want to play it at 4. Some people want to play it at 0. I'm going to split the difference and play it at 2. Next up, I play, of course, it's a Dimension Dragon deck. Gotta play the Lost World. And you gotta play the Lost World from the Collector's Glory. It just has like that light absorbing black. It's like a Negro black. It's just you just feel vile when you play it. I ain't finna explain what that flag does. Y'all know what that flag does. Items. I play 2 of this item. What is your name? Treasure chest. I'm just gonna call it a treasure chest. I play it because I like to get the gauge and the life. Just having that 1 extra life. Sometimes it helps. if it's in Lost World, I get to draw a card and deal a damage. So if I set up with this and I go Lost World, this usually gives me a draw in Lost World too, going into my Lost World deck. So having a 2 is nice. Also have Soul Guard. It's also a Dimension Dragon. It's also an item, so it helps me really keep a board presence, because you know a lot of our defensive plays only works when you got Dimension Dragons on board. So that's one of the real reasons I play it. All right, that's it for that. On to the spells. Endless Enmity, I think that's how you say it. It's pay 1 gauge, check top 3, add Dimension Dragon card, put the rest into the graveyard. You put these to your graveyard for that one new Dimension Dragon I was telling you about earlier, him. So sometimes you could pay a gauge, add 1, drop the rest, and call him, rest him, grab the last 2 cards back. So you just added 3 cards to your hand. He's also a Dimension Dragon card on board. So if you got this, an item, and like 3 monsters, you got like 5 Dimension Dragons they gotta try to get rid of. And then what else was I to say from there? Also, I like that you can de-suction this. So you can set 1, do the effect, de-suction it, draw 2 cards, play another 1, do it again. Just, I don't know. First I didn't like this card, but then all of a sudden I just love this card. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I was smoking back in the day, kids. Alright, so I did something out of order. I usually go for my 4Ls and break it down from there. So I'm gonna do my 4Ls now. 4 D-Suck. Z-Suck is you kill a monster, you gain a life, draw 2 cards, counter speed, so you can do it on your opponent's turn, you can do it on your turn. Also, fun trick you can do when you redirect with the size 0. Now they're fighting that, you can cast this to kill it off, and then you can go ahead and draw 3 cards. I mean, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's going to die anyway, so you might as well kill it off and get some more cards from Z-Suck. Next up, we play Z-Endbringer. Z-Endbringer is a Nice One clone, but it's better than Nice One, what Nice One wish it was. So, in Lost World, draws you 1 extra card and deals your opponent 2 damage. Yeah, super fair. I play it at 3 because this is a hard once per turn. Even though the other D-Suction is a hard once per turn, but like I told y'all in previous videos, if I got a draw token, play a counter speed, I always play it at 4. My next 4 of is 4 D alterations. The Hawk Do Not Pass Go, Do Not Collect $200 card. It's a shield. You can only cast it with Dimension Dragons on board, and they do 3 more attacks you in the phase. It's just a staple. I see some lists play it at 3, and that's fine. I'm not doing that. I'm not brave enough. The Chief is a coward. Yep, you can say whatever you want to. I'm playing it at 4. You can play it at 3 to make room for other cards if y'all want. The last card I play at 4 is probably my favorite card from the Glory Valiant. D-Rodo. Oh my god, D-Rodo is such a great card. So, some of y'all probably already noticed the veteran Dimension Dragon players watching this video. I don't play the lore, but D-Rodo gives me my protection really, because D-Rodo is a monster reborn from the graveyard, a monster for the cost of paying 1 gauge, and then I can reveal a Lost World from my hand. If I do, my board basically has the lore effects. Can't be bounced, can't be destroyed, can't be nullified. So it's like, if you're gonna play D-Roll at 4, why play the lore? This is also good because I can use this to use Oncoses on my opponent's turn, use Epicis on my opponent's turn, just really get in there and just. But also if this is on board when I D-Roll, I can get a life and draw a card. So just, whew, my God, just whew, spice, not spice. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, moving on to man, I almost had a joke that was going to get me in trouble. Lost of D. Lost of D lets me pick up a Dimension Dragon card from my graveyard or a Lost World flag. Sometimes my deck just runs too much like butter, and I sometimes end up putting my Lost World flags in the drop zone. So sometimes I need to pick those boys back up, or sometimes I want to pick up an Uncles, or pick up my buddy to draw me another card. Next up, we play D Scapegoat. We ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. Cost is just short as many Dimension Dragons or your field as you will like. You gain 1 life and draw a card for each one. D Scapegoat can only be activated once per turn. I play a pretty heavy amount of size 1s, and so sometimes it's just nice to kill them all off, to draw some cards. I'm usually not scared to leave my board naked with no Dimension Dragon on board these days, because I do play D-Rodo, And D-Rodo can let me call monsters from my graveyard, because D-Rodo doesn't need to have Dimension Dragon on board to cast it. If your board is Butterball naked, you can still cast it, get your Dimension Dragon. Go ahead, use D-Alteration. It's great. It's great. And D-Rodo is not once per turn, by the way. That's it for my main deck. We're finna go on to the Lost deck. Fall into the pits of despair and be consumed by your thoughts and your envy as I cover my flag. Lost World, on to the part 2 of the deck profile.
What?
I played 3 Vanity Husk Destroyers. You already know what Vanity Husk Destroyer does. This takes your cards and yeets them to the drop zone. Except you've got Grace of the Sun Deity now, but that's a different story for a different day. Next, I played 3 of the vilest, vile Vanity, what's your name? Vanity Rehab Destroyer. I call him Vile Karen because he has a cute little sweater like Rama. He wants to speak to your manager and tell him to get your cards out of here. I do a 3-3 splits on these because sometimes I want the double attack. Sometimes I want the penetrate 5. Either way, you're going to die. Next up, I played 3 of the best Chess Boy or Drag Metal Boy. I like to oppress my opponent after I kill their monsters with their vanities, and I say no, double oppress. And he also gonna burn for 3 damage. And so then, if you somehow live through my lost turn, you only have 1 monster slot. Good luck getting through my defenses. Next up, we play 2 of the Bloody Eyes. Bloody Eyes doesn't matter. Blood Dragons never mattered. On to the next thing. 3 of the sexiest print of Dimension Draw. It's just Graceful Charity. Draw 3, discard 2. Discard 2 might sound like it's a heavy cost, but now you got Onkoses, where you can just, draw 3, discard 2. Oh, wait, it's double Onkoses. You just charge, draw 2 more. All of a sudden, you just drew, what is that number? I think, oh shit, I'm bad at math. I'm good at Buddyfight, but bad at math. That's why I don't play Vanguard. I think that's 7. I think I draw something like that. Anyway, next card.
You don't want to be bad at math and play Vanguard.
You do not want to be bad at playing Vanguard, especially Great Nature. But anyway, Battle of Valiant. Counter. I draw 2 cards, and then I gain life for each Lost Vader on the board. Now, this is the only one I don't play at 4, just simply because it goes to my deck too fast. When I play testing, there's sometimes I'll deck myself out, only have 1 lost card left in my deck. Next up, we got 2 Invasion from the Deep and Vile. Invasion from the Deep and Vile is check top 4, add 2 hand cards, and put the rest into your gauge. It's just there to help you get some more consistency, but there's enough consistency already. Next up is called the Day of Devastation. Day of Devastation lets me blow up all your monsters and then deal you a damage for each one blown up, or I could cast it for protection from my board. But if I blow up your monsters, I could just use my my Glint Lances to just go ahead and take your monsters in the main phase. And then next thing you know, I have 2 Lances, 3 Lost World creatures, and then an item just to go beat your head in. Next up is Dimension Cruelty. Dimension Cruelty either lets me stand a monster, rest a monster, or gain 3 gauge. I just use it for the gauge. Next up, 1 Dimension Breeding. Dimension Breeding is charge 2, draw 2, gain 2 life. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. But I always love playing it when I see it. Next up is 1 of the new Dimension Slayers. This says send all cards on your field, and they can attack during the final phase. And you stand 3 or more cards, draw a card. You only cast it once per turn. But you're already dead by the point I cast this card because I'm so vile. Next up, I play 2. I don't know if this is a sword. This is a cannon. It says 1 shot in the flavor text, so I think it's a cannon. You know, if Young Metro don't trust you, he will shoot you. So this cannon has penetrate, triple attack, 33. It's just there to really beat your head in. It also can't leave the field by your opponent's card effect, so it's pretty good to help me in the mirror match if they try to vanity it, or Ed Pocket and all that other good stuff. And my last 3 cards, because I'm such a degenerate, not 1, not 2, but 3 Vanity Zero Blazers, just to deal you 10 damage. Sometimes if I draw enough gauge cards and draw enough hand cards, I'll just enter final phase and just cast this 3 times and just call it a day. Alright, that's it for the deck profile. Remember, stay vile.